The upper deckers, man. It's a thing.
Wait, upper decker means something different to me.
It did when I was in high school.
Yeah, it meant like shitting in someone's toilet
in the tank,
like the wrong way, which is like
in the tank, right? In the tank. Of the
in the tank.
Yeah, in the
which
top
is like
part.
so unbelievably sinister to do that.
It is vile because
order.
you're not going to find it for so long, and like I don't know what would happen, but I'm imagining maybe you'd take a piss and flush, and shitty water would just come through, and you'd be like, what
the
and
fuck?
Yeah, right?
horrific.
But wouldn't two flushes handle it? Is it that?
I'm imagining that you poop in there, like, and then it sits in there all day, and then it sort of like decomposes and really poisons the whole tank of water. And so when it's disturbed, and most of the water leaves, but not all, so that next batch of water is equally disturbed almost. It's just every flush, I feel like you're getting shitty water until somebody opens the tank and fishes out whatever feces remains.
I've never known someone to actually do.
No.
Like, as far as I know, the upper decker prank is like largely a myth because I don't know. I know so many people who did ridiculous pranks growing up, and that was always something you heard about. Never once heard of it done.
I get the saran wrap on the toilet, right? And then you drop the lid so they're pissing into the thing. Yeah, but I also don't fully subscribe to believe into somebody being like that funny, because it's not, right?
And also, like, think of like, all right, I go to Kyle's house and I'm like, I'm gonna upper decker this fool. I have to like go in his bathroom, take my pants all the way off, like take the top of the toilet off, like kind of hover because that would be too sharp on my butt. Like all the edges.
Imagine losing your balance, your feet. You're standing on the lid.
You're like out there, like, what the hell's going on? You hear like the tank rattling as I'm sitting on it, and then I have to take a shit, and then like amble down, and then wipe,
and then flush.
The amount of effort, 40 minutes later when I come out.
Well, what are you
like,
flushing really?
I don't know. I don't know what
flush. I think you just leave it.
I couldn't put the toilet paper in the top, right?
Oh, that's even better. Actually, yeah, go ahead. Why not?
Yes, that's a good point.
That's even better. It'll make more of a mess.
That is like
just put it right in. I mean, I think you almost have to break and enter to pull a real upper decker.
Oh, I could never do it to a friend of mine. Like if like a good friend of mine upper decked.
Like, I don't know who's been here.
I'd be like, you're no longer welcome here. This is friendship ending. That's despicable. Either a brand new high quality toilet of my choosing is delivered, installed, finished today, or your part in this. My life is over.
Yeah, dude, that's a biological attack. I would be so goddamn upset.
It is. That's a form of terrorism.
Yes.
You imagine how bad the room would stink. Just.
And you never find out. And you never like
Palestinian toilets.
Dude, I went to look what happens with an upper decker. There's a guy on Reddit who's done over 100 upper deckers. He wrote his story, and I could read it to you. It's about 60 seconds long.
Tell us. I want to hear it.
Okay. This is an art confession. I've done probably over 100 upper deckers at this point, and I won't be stopping anytime soon. For those not familiar with the upper decker, it's when you take the lid off the toilet tank and shit in there and leave a giant nasty clogger in the toilet bowl. The result is that every time the toilet bowl refills from the tank, it will be dirty shit water. I started in middle school, all the way through high school, and at least a couple months growing up. I've done it at jobs I hated, restaurants that gave me bad service, a couple ex-girlfriends' places, and a buddy's place at a house party in my college dorms. I've done it in public bathrooms sometimes just for the hell of it. It's so satisfying knowing somebody's going to have a giant fucking clogger and be disgusted by something that didn't flush. So now they'll have to look at it and smell it. They'll flush it themselves, only for the bowl to be filled with dirty shit water again. And it's one of those industrial toilets for public restrooms. It'll likely splash the water a bit too and flush, and hopefully they'll get shit water on them. Then they'll flush it again and again, but until they clean my shit out of the toilet tank, it will never really be clean. God, it's so fucking funny. I can't even imagine the look on someone's face. I heard about my upper deckers when I was in school and how long they were looking for the culprit. The principal was furious, but they never caught me despite their best efforts. The boss at my first job, he was furious too. There were no cameras, so they couldn't tell who was doing it. The best part is because everyone refused to To do it, he had to clean it himself. I broke that already smug, arrogant asshole of a man that made him lose his mind until he up and quit his job because he got tired of dealing with someone else's shit for once. The RA at my student dorms became a more unrepentant asshole. People thought he was doing it himself just to have an excuse to crack down on people. He became so disliked they made him step down as an RA and put someone else in his place. You know the fucked up part? I still didn't stop doing upper deckers. At my second job, they held meetings and reviewed the camera footage. They even had supervisors do walkthroughs to look at people's boots to see who was in there periodically. I never got caught. No one suspected it was me. Not a soul. At my friend's house party, he kissed a girl I just started dating. I was so furious, I immediately went into his bathroom and unleashed the floodgates. Due to being drunk and eating greasy food, it was pure sludge. I did all of it in the toilet tank. Every sweet drop of putrid ash juice went in there. I left the toilet clean and heard the scream of a girl who went into pee flush. No one knew it was me. One time I got tomatoes at Jimmy John's when I asked for none. Upper decker. One time they got the order wrong from a McDonald's drive-thru. Upper deck. The bartender fucked up my drink. Upper decker. Ex-girlfriend pissed me off. Used her spare key and I knew about and upper decked. Another girl broke up with me because she was crazy. She is. Upper decker. I can't stop and I won't stop. So you fuck with me, you know what's coming to you. Upper decker.
So we gotta lock this guy up.
What state does he live in?
It's been found.
Are we safe?
I hope we're safe, man. Like, what group of retards does he associate with? Where he's like, oh, someone just upper decked Todd's house at the party. That's crazy. Someone upper decked Jeremy's work and Jeremy's other work and the school Jeremy went to and Jeremy's ex-girlfriends and his other ex-girlfriend. Like, this is not a group of Sherlocks he's hanging out with here, because I hope I hope he's exaggerating and you know, kind of pumping his resume, because
people
that's disgusting. No,
you don't lie.
Read that for the campaign trail.
That doesn't happen. Yeah, so that's disgusting. That guy should probably go to jail. You got to shut that down. You can't be doing
biological warfare for sure. Like,
you
can catch infections from feces. The longer they fester, the worse they get.
Yeah,
Criminal misuse of a toilet.
Criminal misuse of a toilet, and he's also doing it at like fucking Jimmy John's. Some like high school kid has to go clean his ass juice out of a toilet tank.
Tomatoes on my hamburger when I ordered none. Upper decker.
Wow,
man.
Yeah, that's pretty horrific. I would quit a job over that, wouldn't you? Like if you had like a Jimmy John's job. I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that.
Not on me. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I hope nobody finds this guy and like savagely beats him. That'd be awful. That would be awful. No, not that. This guy's just having fun, pulling pranks. That's so mean-spirited. That's such a terrible, terrible thing. I could never do that to someone.
Me either.
Even someone I dislike. There's no way I could.
Oh, why not?
Because
I could totally do it.
Because you'd picture them, like you'd think about whoever was actually cleaning it, and it's probably not even the person you're mad at in most instances.
Okay, well, like in that situation, then yeah. But if it's just an individual, like if it's a man who lives alone, and I'm gonna go give him an upper decker, he's cleaning that shit up, literally.
Yeah, but
it happened on the Ultimate Fighter. You know,
if I upper decked you, you'd clean it.
And then you tell him, like, how many
we'd
years?
Have a problem.
When would you tell him? So
you wouldn't know it was me, Taylor. I'd fly there. Okay, I would sneak into your home on a day when you
break into my house.
When you had told, I would be like, hey, what do you do about like a spare key? Because I know I keep mine under like an old shingle. You'd be like, yeah, there's a little Eskimo outside my house. He's got the key. Next thing you know, I'm in there upper decking you and flying back to Atlanta. I got Delta miles, dude.
I got Delta miles.
You don't even know. I got like 8 million of them.
I'd be so perplexed. Just come home.
What? Do you vlog the whole thing and then send it to him on a?
I make a YouTube channel.
Yeah, but I'm wearing like a mask.
Common man scrubbing out my toilet. I start making money, being the upper decker cleaner, like those sushi chefs. Yeah.
Yes.
You thought no one could get you, didn't you, Taylor? I have befouled your plumbing.
What Reddit was that on? Like
confessions. Our confessions.
Oh, good. I'm glad there's not an upper decking subreddit like all to its own.
There could be. Although you guys are pretty versed.
Yeah,
on
I probably know about it.
You probably know. If it was, I'd browse through it. That'd be funny. But like,
I'm surprised there's not a shit bandit subreddit, because that to me seems like more of a ubiquitous real thing. We know that people write silly letters and shit and just smear shit on walls. It's I have never in my life had the inclination to do any such thing. So the fact that someone else like never even considered it, it's like that's a possibility. Like
you've considered it.
The worst that I would ever do, right, would be like not flush, but it's in the toilet.
Yeah, right. I'm not retrieving the poo.
Yes, no, that's it's just not something that I would do. Not even as a vengeful, maybe it's a vengeful thing, but not upper decker, right? Like just leave it in there, so haha, right? But grabbing your shot, like the last thing you want to do is like touch it. So for you to grab it and then smear it, like that's a little bit a certain kind of person, right?
I think everybody at their high school
friendly fire in that activity. I'm catching some strays. Like I don't want to grab in my own. I got to come with gloves now.
Was there a poop prankster or anything like that at your high school, Hex?
Not that I've heard of. No.
Never heard of it?
No.
Maybe it's not as common.
No, there was. I've heard of it, right? But like in a public setting, like what was it? I think it was like a driver's insurance place in Chicago somewhere. I don't need. I'm getting a glimpse of this of the past, but there was somebody that did that, and he had to have been like not right up there in order to do something.
I think it's oftentimes you've got a vendetta against the business or maybe even the janitor. Like if you knew that somebody was gonna I could see someone doing it, but just doing it like Taylor had a guy in his school who was just doing it. He was just like smearing shit on the walls
for the love of the game, man.
For the love of the game, it's like it's not my game.
Yeah, he was a real loon when it came to poop stuff, and he was like I've mentioned before, so I'll keep it quick. But like he was in like the more special ed class thing, and so he had a handler. And he would just slip. He'd just slip the handler.
His handler must have known. How can you be the shit bandit's handler and not know? That's like
he didn't have like a mental, as far as I could tell, like he didn't have like a developmental issue. He was just like a badly behaved kid.
That's awful.